Awaken to love.
Hello again. I'm still here at the farm in Tennessee on the heels of the Sanctuary Summit Festival. And for this episode, I invited Izzi Shenandoah to sit down with me. He's a dear friend, beautiful soul, and now a fellow musician collaborator. We had a great time performing for the cacao dance and ceremony on Sunday morning of the Sanctuary Summit Festival, and Izzi had lots to do with bringing this festival to life. So, enjoy our talk about life, love, community, and much more. Yeah, give it some. Izzi, good to see you at the Sanctuary Summit at the farm community in Summertown, Tennessee. This historical location of the farm. As if it wasn't enough just to meet each other at the farm. We're here at the Sanctuary Summit.
In the nest.
The nest.
Of nests.
What a vibe. It's been an amazing weekend here at the summit, hasn't it?
We have been cradled with nests. We're nesting inside of it. We're nesting. It keeps nesting. Yes, I'm so excited to be in sacred dialogue with my brother Flint.
Yes. Good to be here tuning in with you. So I personally came here to the Sanctuary Summit Festival in large part because I saw your name on the lineup.
Well, now we've already deep. Let's go. Yes.
Yeah, so maybe just for the listeners, the Sanctuary Summit Festival, headlined with Rising Appalachia and Ma Muse, and two amazing medicine bands, if you will.
If you would, and will, and could, and should.
We will. We do.
It shall be done.
And the drummer of Rising Appalachia, Mr. Biko Cassini, seems to be like the spearhead force behind this beautiful Sanctuary Summit event. And I've been a fan of Rising Appalachia forever. I've been a fan of Biko, his playing in particular. And you and me have been friends for a minute now. Mm-hmm. We keep bumping out into each other in amazing places. So when I saw your name on the flyer, I was like, I think this is a good place to be. And I told you I wanted to volunteer. And you said, well, you should come for the build. Come early so that you can really connect with, the people. And I'm so glad I did. So yeah, it's been amazing. Like, all my dreams have been fulfilled here at the Sanctuary Summit. Building this nest was hard work, and it was really good work, and it was good for my mind and my psyche, my soul, good for the heart, and it just got me connected in all the ways that were correct. My secret dream was also to connect with Biko more, and we got to have a little jam, me and him. So, that connection feels amazing, just to be recognized by someone who I am a fan of. The mutual respect just so much as an artist for me. And I know that you have been heavily involved in this event since it started last year. So, can you tell me some of what you've been doing here at this event?
Big inhale to your share, brother. Thank you for those words of inspiration. Yeah, and hope that vibrates to the listeners. Yeah. Bask in that. Inhale with that, brother. Thank you for, weaving, showing up how you're showing up too. And yeah, so a distilled version of, an extended relationship with Brother Biko, meeting him, seeing him on different parts of the country, different parts of his tour, and then friends of friends keep bringing us closer together. And spending many nights with him, just listening to his vision and what he's been doing and learning. And when I really started listening was when he was applying music and harmonics to music and harmonics as a building technique. And what I've learned in my own walk with discovering ancient scales, if you will, and technologies that are using mathematics and harmonics in music. And so I think that, early example of, let's say, Egypt and how we're rediscovering it in modern culture, with even just the build of instruments themselves. They have specific densities and shapes and ways of harmonics. So extending that concept, I start listening to my reflections, my relatives, when they start merging, stacking, if you would, as I describe in my circular medicine movement, of technologies of how we can amplify sound. Let's say where our modern culture of digital world has amplified our voices in many ways, our ancestors was doing that in, let's say, more analogous, if that's a word, way, in, let's say, pyramids or domes that have specific dimensions, therefore a specific waveform, bass note. My brother Biko has that beautiful way of merging and metaphorically speaking about his walk in life and our walk in life and my walk in life. Music is a good template to stick with, as is water, and that's part of my work. Not to go too far off of what you've asked me to share about what the Sanctuary Summit has been to me, is just so many of our relatives all over are talking about community and talking about regenerative living and all of these original way of living that my ancestors talk about, original instructions. So I think the farm is a good example of that in modern culture, let's say in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So we have that here as a foundation, as an alternative, older way that the hippie era has done. It did it. People can talk about it, and now the babies are talking about it. And Biko happened, and Raven, and the people here, Jenny, some of the curators, they're offspring of that. And so running into Brother Biko more and more, him inviting me out through part of his vision of doing the Sanctuary Summit through the Sanctuary Sciences, which is ultimately just natural building and music and much more, community, food, all things. But starting there gave rise to his vision of, I like to say, fanning the flame of things that are dwindling, things that have lost some structure, and therefore evolving into new things. And so the farm, through him, as his description of his life growing up here and going out and being a musician, doing things, just listening, it seems like this farm here has a lot of potential of what our new age modern people, I call it Rainbow Nation, rainbow people, are looking for to do. So it feels like us are arriving here to live this certain way that our ancestors did, that we're striving for, that we're moving towards, that we're doing. But the ones that are doing it and living it, all of us are uniting and just doing it more together. So yeah, long answer. Ending right now is wanting to make this ripple and impact of merging sanctuary, as Biko may describe, of just original ways of living, original technologies in the way we build our home structures, our kitchens, our way we would do waste, our music culture. If we're the ones building the nests or the stages or the curating the vibe, we want to establish, as permaculture would say, permanent culture. It's this regenerative lifestyle that is just mixing and matching from many original ways of living, knowledges, laws. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Is our vision and Biko's vision of re-amplifying the farm with new, fresh energy through culture, education, music, regenerative ways of living. And in order to do that, we have to be the ones to build it and then curate the vibe of it through music or art or workshops or speakers. So amplifying voices through original ways of living and knowledge system, and in having indigenous, blood. I think that's part of my responsibility too, is weave the ancient cultures into the newer cultures. So yeah, up the hero.
Yes, it's all about the intention. Yeah. Beautiful words, my friend.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for receiving me. Hope that way was enough to serve.
It's like, I could have said, what do you do here? And you might have said, well, I helped him build the stage. But no. What we're doing here is much more than just building the stage. You could have said, well, I led the cacao dance ceremony. No, that's amazing. And I did want to thank you for inviting me to join your cacao ceremony on Sunday morning, which meant so much to me. That was the other side of complete fulfillment in my experience of being here. Even though I kind of nudged you about it, it felt really amazing to be part of that, and the way that you held the space very beautifully. And all of us together had something to do with holding that space. But thank you for your leadership in that. And what comes up for me and everything that you're saying is that this event, the Sanctuary Summit, is like, it's more than just the weekend of like a festival.
Right.
It's not just like, oh, we show up and we party and then it's all gone. This is the whole intention of this event, is to support the community that it's part of, so that the Sanctuary Summit itself can keep going and be like, I would just love it if the Sanctuary Summit was like the way of life here,
Yes, tell them, please. Thank you.
But yeah, you said you told me about, some of the possibilities of like growing it, making it into like a longer event. But truly, like, the way that it's going to support the farm community in like growing and continuing and becoming stronger, that is like so meaningful. And I feel like even that, the farm itself has a place in like just modern culture of like America. The history of this place. Somebody was telling me that like, if you're anywhere you go in America, and if you're in a room full of people, chances are somebody knows about the farm, or is connected to it in some place, in some way.
Heard about it, yeah.
And like places like this, eco villages, and just the farm community itself, it has so much that it can teach us as a wider culture, about just ways to live together in harmony.
That's it, brother.
Even if the farm has had its like ups and downs and its challenges and its inner workings, you know, it's amazing that it's still standing. It's still going, and I keep meeting like people who live here, families and parents and elders and even the kids.
The stories, whoa.
It's crazy. It's just like, wow, you can just feel the living energy of this place. It's really something.
Thank you for mentioning that as I receive you and reverberate, yeah, what you experienced too. That's why I feel like I came out here early last year. Is actually last year, just visualizing and keeping the intention alive. It was just Biko, Raven, and I, and it was us putting down everything and doing kind of like starting the build, and then volunteers arrive. But I feel like this modern culture that the farm is rich with, as you're speaking of these stories of the families you're meeting. So just hearing a lot of that through Biko, and a lot of why I came out early last year is he's such a beautiful speaker and describes what he experiences anyway. But I was like, wow, I just gotta go see. I was like, when can I come out? He's like, you know, and that's that love and trust he has, is like, whenever you want, man. I'm like, all right, it's like that then, because you know me, I'm on the move. I'll go. So arriving here early last year to see the first initiation, the birth of it, and then roll into this year of how it's evolving. It's this culture that we're all working on, living in, wanting to be more in. And so, yeah, I feel this attraction method that we're creating just through showing up. The first thing is just through showing up. And like, yeah, I want to like come back to you as, you know, you and I's path, crossing each other and meeting different places, and you seeing just my name having a big impact of why you come, and then us last minute, you know, building together, and then asking you to help curate a cacao movement medicine vibe. I'm like, buddy Jesse, him and I were already kind of been curating it through the past months. You last minute, and then William out of nowhere hold that strong vibe. I'm like, I felt up there I felt really supported, and you know, because I've been doing smaller examples of that, of facilitating just movement through circles and in music, and offering cacao as this method of connection in prayer, and how it doesn't need to be enough serious. I want to use my words precisely, and enough not to take the seriousness out of it, of ceremony, because that should be honored, but it can, as I like to bridge through ceremony, it can be this casual ritual of connection through intention, through enough prayer, enough collaboration, enough hands to cut, enough intention to go to Colombia and harvest and connect with communities there, to bring it back here, to have that permission, and therefore, you know, still learning to carry those songs and those ways of harvest, and that rich culture of songs even gets into. So yeah, that's been some of my reclamation, is giving Mama Cacao this voice and this method through her children, through the people, of connection, and how we can still use these models of I like to say containerhood or containership. We're all these magicians of these facilitators and these guiders of this new way of containerhood. Well, I like to call it, we'll distill it into containerhood. We're all showing up through this musical, artistic, playful, I like to use that word, and art, educational even. So I like to bring in that aspect of history of how she's showed up in different cultures that I'm still keep learning of, and her rich potentiality of birthing even just the humans as a species. And there's these storylines that go into that, as she helped be the foundational components of molding this intelligent earth suit together.
Yes.
So there's some of those beautiful stories going into, and like applying that into our container, as you helped me co-facilitate, and as I'm coming back around of like feeling supported now and feeling getting more dialed in of why people want to show up to these containers, feel like they feel a part of it, they can connect to something through the intention of Mama Cacao, and just feel so good, and it feels so right. And then another little map of movement that I would say my walk with cacao, another micro dose of culture of medicines and herbs, that this template has arrived even through a little bit of dream work. This is simple way of movement through circles, and that being the fundamental of it, and almost as an orchestrator of like a little music part, here's these foundational tools of movement, so a map to give to the people, but also the dance space. So now in the containerhood, now we're bringing all this intention in with music and cacao and enough prayer that we're almost turning this dance into a prayer now, and it deepens with the people as they're participating now.
Yes.
So yeah, I give gratitude to you for participating in helping me co-create. I give gratitude to Biko for allowing me space to help curate that, amplify Cacao's voice, the community in Colombia's voice, her history, how she's kind of been, I like to say these words, I've said them before, and pimped out. I think cacao has been pimped out to be chocolate, and has been profited on so much that she's using us to reclaim her authority. I would use that word, in her power as a powerful goddess, priestess of the jungle.
Aho.
Aho, Ashe Mateo, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, and you work with cacao quite a bit. Yeah, I appreciate you for bringing this wisdom and the sensibility, bringing the sacredness into it. And I like how you said that it's also playful. That's something that I like to remind myself, especially this past recent years. I've really reminded myself to bring playfulness into my music, because I always used to look at myself on pictures and on stage, and I'd be like so intensely like it could be passion, but just always I would just look so serious. And so more and more I'm learning how to bring the playfulness into music, and that's why we call it playing music. It's a play. It can be sacred, it can be solemn, but like also the muse is inherently playful, I think, as an entity.
Beautifully said.
Yeah. And speaking of music, I mean, all weekend here at the Sanctuary Summit, the music has been just incredible. I feel like I might have missed like a set or two, but even the ones that I missed, I'm sure like I didn't mean to miss them. Like I wanted to be there. And I feel like there was just absolutely like 100% of what was presented was just meaningful and valuable and well received for everyone. And impactful. So there was no filler here, there was nothing just like that was unnecessary. All of it had a place, and I think it's probably my favorite festival that I've been to.
Yeah, we're at the second one, so the very beginning of something special that wants to be birthed through an older framework. So it's nice. We have the framework, it's down. We come here and just build together.
Yeah.
Brotherhood, sisterhood.
Is there anything else you want to share about your experience here, what you're doing in your life, your walk, your righteous path?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate you the space to share and equally together, because I feel like you have a lot to share too, brother, and like your abilities to translate music and now to creatively translate video and audio with this new wave of, say, reels and like ways of putting arts together. So I want to honor you in that way too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as we've been speaking, we get to keep cross-bridging these, as I would say, like ways of bridging. Brother Porangi, his what he uses, this older word of chakruna, and this way of bridging. It's like, I think we're all bridges. We're all so mixed, and are learning original ways of each lineage that we all contain of the mix, and we're bringing it. We're showing up to these events with some of our ancestors' knowledges, and sometimes that's because we're mixed. We're bringing a lot of that. So I just like encourage people in our circles that I had to reclaim my roots, go back to my roots, and learn my ancestral ways, and merge them with these new ways of living. So as I go back to like this containerhood that we're curating collaboratively instead of competitively, I keep showing up for each other, and take care of self. I think it's so often overly looked, especially for people giving a lot, musicians and builders. It's just a lot of the lesson is just taking space and rest for self, being comfortable with that internal dance of like self. And when it's time to hibernate, going with your cacao and going with your good sound and your beautiful music and your instruments, and to dance with that internal self. So yeah, man, just thanks for the ability to share. And yeah, I guess I'll close up with this, my work that I've been doing with water altars has also brought me to a lot of spaces, and I've been invited back to spaces. Is this nest that I've built here as a part of the collective nests is honoring water, giving her a space to be experienced in a bigger space like this nest, and how we can incorporate that into regenerative living and organic regenerative systems. So I feel like some of my work with cacao, and obviously cacao is highly enhanced with structured water, and my effort to build these creative educational artistic nestallations to come gather clean water at these events. So some of my work here, and we've been talking about, is like getting the water team super dialed in. That'll be some of my containerhood of directing, and as it goes into the stage ended up coming out to be a nest of its own kind, and how that's amplifying the presence of the musician and how us, and so you got to see that build, and how that's really important to just the experience of making art of on the land of what's already is, and just showing up with willing hands, willing heart, to create, collaborate. And I think this word of co-create is like this dance, this collaboration piece is us dancing together, so many forms, and co-creation is like this form we individually bring with this higher thing we call so many names, and bring that dance of co-creation into collaboration. And this sanctuary shaman will be talked and spread about. People, many directions will be coming, and you and I are have a beautiful beginning onset of co-creating beautiful containers,
Yeah.
and installations.
Yes. I think that this event is going to continue to bring the right kind of people. You know, which is not to say that there's a wrong kind of person, but I think that the people who would be attracted to this festival are the ones who will receive the most medicine and transformation from it. And I think this is the type of event that brings out the best in everyone that is here. Beautiful thing.
There's this word Yahweh Gasha Dogesh, it's in Onaina. It means what you say is true.
Say it again.
Gasha Dogesh.
Gasha Dogesh.
Yeah. And then there's this other word I've been carrying around, Yahweh Hashkeno, and it means thank you for being well. So greeting people in their highest form, in their health. So yeah. As we all come back to the circle, the sacred hoop.
Beautiful. Thank you for sitting down with me, man.
Honor and pleasure, dear brother. Keep shining.
Blessings on your journey.
Likewise.
vibes are nice.
Woof.
You know we're vibing with the tribe.
Oh,
You know we got to vibe right in this
the
nest.
tribe right. No, when you vibe right, you tribe right, because when you freshen up, you look right, smell right, show up right, man, you're gonna vibe right, and then you just tribe up right.
Tribe up with vibe right.
Yeah. Vibrate Productions presents.
We want to thank our sponsors today. Vibrate.
And Cacao for sponsoring our
Vibe. Keeping it right.
keeping it vibe right, because when you vibing right, you dripping right. When you're dripping right, you sometimes you might be vortexualizing.
We getting driptual in this
You
place.
said it, dog. That's the what I say is driptual, dog. You said it. Cause check it out, man. We are all Egyptians.
Egyptians.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out my homie Coop, he couldn't know it. But we got this culture of doing it, Subu, called Show Up, Bless Up.
Hey.
Subu acronym. Show up. They're like, everybody like, what you do? What do you do? You're like, there's a lot of things I could say right now, but ultimately I just Subu.
Asubu.
Show up, bless up. Show up, bless up. Show up, bless up.
Much love, dude.
Peace, bro. Yes, thank you.